Yo, this is 2-4, repping here for MVRemix.com. Hottest website. Peep it.
www.mvremix.com. So my first question is very simple, but it's also kind of complex. Tell me a little bit about your history.
History, based in Montreal. History as an MC? Or history in general? That could go on for days for you.
Well, roughly along the lines of relating to music, you know.
Okay, I started writing poetry and reggae. Geez, I don't remember now. It's in my bio, but I think I was like 10. And then that evolved into performing reggae and hip hop approximately in 92, and this was all in Montreal. What helped me out was in the city, because I mean, now being in New York is a dream for me. Obviously, I didn't really think this was what was going to come out of when I first started. I mean, I didn't think I was going to be on a song with Sadat X 10 years after I was bumping it. You know what I mean? Punks Jump Up, like that was crazy for me. But what Montreal did was a definite training ground for me, and being in school all the time. I went to school straight, and most of the top schools. And, you know, a lot of loans are over your head. You can't make a demo. You can't really do anything. And I had a lot of people in the city just, you know, giving me free studio time and free beats and just being like, yo, come record this. Let's do this, you know? Or if I needed a demo for the States, it was like, okay, no doubt. Just come in. We'll pop it out. Like, let's do 5 tracks in a week or 3 days, you know?
Nice.
So, in terms of that, my history has been I felt that my history in Montreal has been a training ground for me. Because once I did go to New York, it was so different. It was such a larger level and a larger scale that I didn't realize I wasn't challenging myself as much as I could have been if I did go up in New York, let's say. So I look at it as a training ground, but definite, like, important to where I am today, obviously. If I didn't have that and if I didn't have people helping me out, I mean, I wouldn't be here right now. Impossible.
With regards to your degree in psychology, do you feel that you have or you're going to bring more of what you know about the human psyche into your music? Or do you feel it's just something which is beneficial if this falls through, or to just understand people?
I always tended to be very logical, and I remember going into my BA or my course in psychology and picking psychology and saying, honestly, I went into it because I wanted to then go into law school, and I didn't want to go directly, so I just wanted to get a BA and something that would interest me. What I found about the course, it didn't teach me too much more about what I had already figured out about the world, because I have been through way too much. So I've kind of figured a lot of things out on my own growing up. I'm talking from elementary and having a very bad childhood in terms of my dad and, you know, hiding under principal desks so I'm not kidnapped and all kind of crazy stuff like that, to being tormented in high school for being so light-skinned. I mean, a lot of things, struggle teaches you something. And I don't remember too many good times. So with psychology, I found taught me was a lot more technical stuff. What really interested me was, you know, finding out about, you know, the components of the brain and finding out about what substances do to a newborn's brain and, you know, abnormal psychology. A lot of things that, you know, you only kind of learn in a book unless you really work in a hospital.
Yeah.
So in terms of my music, I don't find so. I think I had already matured as a person and learned a lot through my struggle that helped me with my music. But I definitely don't regret, the psychology. I mean, it was real interesting.
How did you hook up with Just Blaze and Ayatollah and Swizz Beatz?
Ayatollah, that was a beat CD I got from Buckshot, that's his manager. And it had a bunch of different ones. And I heard it, went crazy, and found out it was Ayatollah afterwards, actually. So that was real interesting. Pretty much the A&R on the project brought the beat CD in. I picked, and then, you know, Ayatollah came in to lay it down, and he was real cool. It was real cool to meet him. And that came out as the track Clock Clock, which was the song dedicated to my boys growing up. You know, I mostly was around guys and them having my back and just always being there to throw down or to emotional support, anything. So that was a dedication for them. In terms of Swizz Beatz and Just Blaze, that was when the project became bigger. It was supposed to come out in October, the album actually, and it was brought to me when people hadn't done their job at the label. So we weren't going to meet certain deadlines, so it was supposed to be pushed, and it was brought to me that, okay, look, don't be upset about it being pushed because it'll give us more time to promote, and also we're willing to put a bigger budget into this. So at that point in time, the budget increased, and the buzz had increased, and there was a video director who actually did the video for the Just Blaze single that we just finished, and you know, he said, I was, you know, longtime friends with Swizz, and so then Swizz heard my sampler that was distributed on the street a lot, and he was like, yeah, word, you know, it's dope. And he got my manager at like 1 a.m. He was at Sony Studios. He's like, yo, I want to work with your girl 2-4. So that was a huge honor. I was actually with him. I was with him. My manager is the mad scientist. He's also my DJ and my partner in the other company, and he was sitting there and he's looking at me. He's like, it's Swizz Beatz on the phone. He wants to work with you. Like, that was unbelievable to me, especially coming from Montreal. I mean, these are all dreams coming true to me. So that went from working with Swizz and really hitting it off, and which also led to me meeting his wife, Mashonda, who's on Full Service, and now she's on J Records. But she's done a lot of hooks, a lot of those, when all those lullaby hooks, you know, started coming out with I Got a Man and a Girl's Best Friend, Jay-Z. She did all that. So I met her, and then we hit it off, and Swizz and his crew are just very, very beautiful, real people, which is really hard to find in the industry. And from there, I had mentioned I wanted to work with Just Blaze, and I think having worked with Swizz helped me out with the Just Blaze thing, because Swizz also, you know, hit him on the two-way, and he said, yo, I'm doing the thing with 2-4, she wants to work with you. And then management called Just Blaze, and we're here now. And he agreed to do it, and then I went in the studio with him, and he made the beat for me, and he was mad cool too. So it was kind of a snowball effect. I mean, I'm just blessed, man. It's all word of mouth, snowball effect, and, you know, obviously also increased the budget and the label believing in me that extra, you know, notch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the story with that.
What is it that appeals to you about the word Quotable, that you've not only put it as a title of your album, but also the clothing line that you're bringing out?
Right. The thing about Quotable, clothing line, and album, well, it's expression of 2-4. I mean, it's what I have to say. It's time for me to say what I gotta say. I don't care what anybody has to say about what my opinion is. Everybody got an opinion. So it's my time to say what I gotta say, and you'll always find something to quote me on. In terms of the clothing line, the reason why I called it Quotable was because I'm putting a lot of my, you know, punchlines or a verse, or depending on which line of the clothing line is, because there's a B-girl line and there's a DJ line, you know, there's different aspects of Quotable clothing line. And having said that, depending on which outfit, let's say, we're talking about, there's going to be a certain quote on there from my album. So that's why I did that with that. There's always going to be writing for my album on that, and I'm hoping to expand to doing things for other artists. So I'm going to probably do something for Swizz and stuff, and put something from his album or something somebody has said about him, and design something specifically for him, you know. In terms of the album, like I said, you'll always have something to quote me on, and what I mean by that is not only necessarily hip-hop quotable, as the source would put it, in terms of lyricism. I'm not only talking about that, because I do have that, but we're also talking about just me throwing out witty lines, you know, like, you know, the Redman lines, you know, the oh wow, she thought of that, that was mad witty, that was cool, but not too deep where mainstream society can't understand. So I got the deep, I got the witty lines, and also I got the lines where, okay, I can't believe she had the gall to say that, you know? So on all levels, Quotable represents who I am and what my opinions are about everything everything. Serious issues to the club tracks. I mean, everything. I never just, I haven't made a track on the album saying nothing. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's always substance to everything that I have to say.
So,
There's a point.
kind of along those lines, with regards maybe to controversial quotables, what are your thoughts on the likes of Lil Kim and Trina?
Little Kim, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about her. Trina, I just felt she was, I mean, she is from the South. Things are a little different there. I didn't totally go after her. However, you know, I think she's a follower. I mean, she's doing whole rap. It's been done before, and I think Little Kim set the standard of taking it to the next level of whole rap. You know what I mean? There's always sexuality in hip hop with women. I mean, Salt and Pepper and everybody, but they did it tastefully. I love Salt and Pepper. You know what I mean? They did it in a tasteful manner where it wasn't just whole rap. It wasn't scandalous like that. And I think the reason why I go after Little Kim, and not that much. I mean, she has a couple of lines here and there on the album, and I do call her Porno Kimmy because I just find it suitable. I find that she started a trend that put pressure not only on other artists but also labels to pressure other artists. You understand? It's like a big vicious circle, and I just think it's time to end all that. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't feel there's any positive, extremely positive female hip hop artists. I mean, not many. I'll put it to you that way. Not many. Where a young girl coming up and she's in high school can go out and purchase an album and say, "Wow, I love this album because this girl says really nice things and she has really good skills." Not, "Wow, her titties are hanging out. Isn't that cool?" That's not cool. That's not. This is the problem with society, man. Kids don't have nothing to look up to, man. You know. So it goes very deep. I think she's not representing for women. I think she's not representing for the black race. I think it's my issues with that is really deep. I don't have beef with her. I mean, Swizz and I are great friends, and I mean, he's great friends with her. So, you know, a lot of people are like, she's mad cool, but I don't agree with what she represents. I mean, I'm not going to go out and shoot her. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll put it on a record. This is what hip hop's about, and people are forgetting. Write your own rhymes and keep the battle on the record. You know what I mean? This is what hip hop is, and I don't know what happened. So hopefully we can bring all that back. You know?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the likes then of Miss Jade and Miss Dynamite, and also, ironically enough, Missy Elliott?
All of the above, I think I like. Now, take it separately. I love Miss Dynamite for what she's doing. She came out and she's doing R&B, but she's not doing the standard status quo R&B, the little girl groups, the little Barbie groups. You know what I mean? She's coming out. She's like, you know, listen to. I mean, the video I saw was absolutely unbelievable with the blood dripping from the watch. I don't know if you saw that. Because of the diamonds and the issues she's bringing up, that's just insane. I mean, I respect her. I think she's great. Miss Jade, I think, sounds like Eve, but I think what kind of ruined a few of the record sales from Miss Jade was maybe Timbaland saying the comment that she's the female Biggie, and not too many people took likeness to that and expected more, you know. But I think she got skills. In terms of Missy, I love Missy. I'm always banging Missy. Now the thing with Missy is she has so much flavor, you can't help but love her. I mean, as many people are gonna sit around and say she's not an MC. There's a bunch of people saying that because she's not extremely lyrical or this and that. She's mad witty and she got mad flavor. And anybody who says they don't own a Missy album, I don't believe them. I don't know. That's just me. I think they're hating people who go on and on about how she's not an MC. I mean, she got mad flavor and beats and all that. So I think there's different levels of MCs, and it also depends. I mean, I'm no one to say, well, this is a definition of an MC, and this is not. I mean, as long as you write your own rhymes and you get crowds bumping, I think that's cool. I mean, don't get me started on Ja Rule and everything, because I'll have comments, but I'm feeling Missy. Feeling Missy. She's great.
What can you tell me about Quotable in terms of the producers, any guest MCs? Basically, describe the album for me.
In one word, I'm going to say balance. The reason why I say that is I feel that even with the club tracks, they're not clubby to the extent I'm talking about nothing. I have my witty you'll hear the MC in me on my club tracks. And then you'll have my grimy, extra lyrical stuff, like, let's say, Super Pirouette. And you'll hear that thing that a lot of people have been missing for years in terms of hip-hop, you know? So you have the grimy stuff, and you've got the top-notch name producers. So I think it brings a good balance overall in terms of featured MCs, singers, or even producers. It's just very well-rounded and balanced, I feel.
Okay.
And that's my opinion on that.
Aside from your album, is there anything else you're working on in terms of, are there guest appearances which you've done which are soon to emerge, or things along those lines?
I'd like to work with Missy, but now that the album is finished, I mean, there's only so much you can do. There's a lot of promo to do right now. I'm also working on, we just completed a mixtape. It's hosted by Tony Touch, and on there is the single, the remix of the single, a lot of exclusive tracks from Rough Riders for me and Rockefeller and stuff like that. And a lot of the promo tracks I did a lot of promo tracks over a few months. So all of them are on there. So you're getting a lot of things from me on the mixtape, and I'm most excited about that because that's I think 30,000 copies are going to be distributed across the United States. I'm talking like just street teams. It's given out for free. We're not even selling it, which is crazy for the label to even put so much money into that. I'm real excited about the mixtape. Look out for that. It's called The Jungle.
Are there any last words or comments you'd like to put to your fans or potential fans that are going to be reading this?
I'm hoping to finally give everybody what they've been waiting for. A female MC who finally can spit like the dudes, can hang with the dudes, can battle with the dudes, and still, entertain you, and still at the same time have something important to say, and at the same time, be well-rounded as a person. I mean, and also to see that I'm giving 200%. When I was recording the album, every single song I wanted to make single potential. I mean, that's what was a major problem. We have so many single potential songs in that album, we didn't know what to put out. I mean, so many things got cut off, and there's so many singles that the label wants to put out. I think it's like 5 or 6. I mean, when does that happen on a hip-hop album? Yeah. Hardly any. You don't hear that anymore. So I'm giving 200%, and I hope everybody can appreciate it and take that and eat it up and make it taste real good. You know what I mean?